What's up, world? Welcome to the Hustle and Motivate podcast. If you're searching for your purpose, trying to overcome a drug addiction, in debt, or have massive dreams but don't know where to begin, lost in life, and want to make a change for the better, then this podcast is for you. Buckle up and let the motivation begin. Here is your host, Luke Mind Power.
What's up, everybody? This is Luke Mind Power, back again, another day, another blessing. It is episode number 5. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome if this is your first time that you're actually listening to the Hustle and Motivate podcast. I hope that you find value, wisdom, and information that you can use in your life to take your life in the right direction in a positive way. So it is number 5, as I mentioned. I've had a couple of guests previously on episode number 2 with Wasim Debussy, which was very awesome, and also my last interview with Yelena Kalami. So check them out. That's episode number 2 and episode number 4. The following 3 episodes, I'm heading over to Europe actually on Sunday, and so I have to be proactive. I have to think about the future, and I have to make sure that I am, continuing to release my content and my podcast while I'm away. And so I am using a platform called Libsyn. If you are interested or you want to start your own podcast, I highly recommend it. It's a great platform, which supports you and has so many tools, and it's able to, schedule your podcast. You upload it, you put all the information in, and it basically sends out your podcast when you schedule it to all the major platforms. But there are costs involved, but it's just up to you what kind of budget you have. And the beautiful thing about my journey and with what I'm doing with this podcasting, even with my social media or my Instagram or my Facebook or Snapchat or TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, is that the information is readily available for you to learn, and if you don't know something, you can go on Google and you can find out how to do it. But at the same time, with what I'm doing, I love to share the information and share what I'm actually doing with you in case you want to do something similar. I think a lot of times when you're going down a certain path, someone might ask you a question and you may be reluctant to actually give them the answer because you feel like you're telling them, like you're giving them the answers to what you've learnt. And you may come across that, it's your ego going, no, I'm not going to tell that person because then they're going to copy me. Then they're going to be better than me. Then they're going to know what I'm doing and they're going to know my secrets, And the one thing that you got to realize, we live in this technologically advanced, incredible world right now that whatever it is that you want to know, you can find the answer. Like, go to Google is your bloody best friend. You can find any answer that you want. But I can give you the answers to my experience with what I'm doing and how I'm building my platform and what I'm, how I'm exposing myself and techniques that I'm using to grow and to connect with people from around the world. And a lot of people may come across with an ego thinking, I'm not going to tell that person. I don't want him to know how I'm going to do this or how I'm achieving this or how I'm connecting with so many people. But the one thing that you've got to step back from that and realize is, listen to this. This is a mic drop. All right. The one thing you got to realize is once you start owning who you are and stepping into your greatness and using your power and leaning into that, you got to understand that no one has what you have. So no matter what you tell someone, no matter what secrets you give and what information you expel from the journey that you're on, no one can do what you do. No one can speak like you. No one breathes like you. No one thinks like you. And see, that's a big marketing tool in using social media and understanding that you're very unique. You're different. If you're willing to be courageous, if you're willing to be bold, if you're willing to show up to the world, there's going to be someone who is going to hear your voice or hear your message or connect with what you're selling and say, you know what? I really connect with that person. I feel like that person is speaking to me. Because I know the biggest truth is that there's going to be people out there that are going to listen to this Luke Mind Power from Sydney, Australia, and they're going to go, this guy's a dickhead. This guy's an idiot. This guy thinks he's too good. This guy has an ego. This guy's trying to be better than everybody else. There's going to be people out there that are just not going to vibe. They're not going to connect with the frequency that I'm vibrating on. And you know what? That's okay. I'm not here to try and win over the world. I'm just here speaking my truth, owning my truth, being free, and allowing my wisdom and experience and life to be a positive role model, to be the example, to show what is possible if you actually believe in yourself, if you actually want to recreate your life. If you want to say to yourself, you know what? For the last 33 years, I haven't been living my truth, and I want to change. I want to be the captain of my destiny. I want to be the author of my autobiography. I don't want my parents or my sisters or my friends or the people at work or society or the government to control my reality, to make me into someone who I'm not. And if you want to do that, it's possible. It's very, very difficult, but it's possible. And it's taken me this transition of, 18 months where I made that one decision to move to Poland, which now led me to my speaking career and to being on social media. It was just that one decision. And now I'm stronger than ever before. But I'm really, really leaning into this spiritual side of my life where I'm stepping into my greatness completely, into my real truth. And not living according to anybody's expectations of me. Not living according to what society wants me to do. What my friends are doing. Who's getting married. Who's having kids. What your mum wants you to do. What your grandmother wants you to do. What your cousins are doing overseas. It's tough though, because we get so consumed by all the noise. And it's very difficult to even change if you're in a relationship, if you're married and you've got kids and you're like 35 or you're 38 or 44 and you think to yourself, you might be in a comfortable situation where you just made a settlement with yourself. Like, how you make a settlement in court because you don't believe that you can achieve the result. You don't believe that you can win the result. And so that's what a lot of people are doing in their life. They're actually making a settlement because they don't believe in themselves that they can change and recreate their life. And I'm telling you that it's possible. Not just because I'm, blessed to, not have any children, be single, living in solitude, investing in myself, loving myself, not caring about what anyone thinks, not following the crowd, turning right, creating my own road and leaving a trail. Yes, it may seem a little bit easier, but what is within you that is speaking to you? What's within you that's speaking to you every fucking day and you're not listening to that voice? Like you're not. That little voice that's telling you, hey, I'm not happy with this situation in my life right now. But I don't have the courage to step out. I don't have the courage to say yes to me and no to everybody else. Everything else. Everything that's consuming your life on a day-to-day basis. I don't have the courage to say no to that person who's negative all the time and who's feeding you negativity and it's consuming your mind. Or maybe it's the fucking news. Maybe it's the TV. Maybe it's that box that you're watching every day and you don't realize that it's programming your mind and giving you negative thoughts. Maybe you're having nightmares because you keep watching these movies where you're seeing people shot and negativity. Maybe it's the newspaper that you're reading on the train. You keep consuming this bullshit politics and this bullshit wars and what's going on around the world instead of focusing on you and start actually paying attention. Start consuming information that's adding value to your life, that's going to make you a better person. And the reason why I speak that way is because that's exactly what I did. I'm not sitting here talking about shit that I don't know. This is the reason why I'm so powerful within myself, why I believe in myself so much, why I'm really stepping into my truth, why I can tell you right now without a shadow of a doubt that I don't know who the fuck I am. Why? Because 2 years ago, I didn't know that I could be this person. I didn't know that I could become. I didn't know that I could evolve. I didn't know that I could be better. I didn't know that I could have more than I had because I didn't know that I could become more than who I was. I was stuck in this comfort zone. I was stuck in this unconscious life of following the crowd, of just living a life experience, of thinking that I wasn't good enough to be more than a government employee. But I knew that there was a purpose for me. I knew there was a reason why I'm on this planet. I knew there was more, but I just didn't know what it was. And so the powerful thing right now for me, because I am woke, and I love this new word that I learned. And one thing I do is I love when I hear words that I've never heard before, and then I speak them and I learn them and I add them into my vocabulary. I love the fact that I woke, right? Like I woke up, right? And so a lot of people out there may also be unconsciously living or just have that lack of belief that, it's possible for me to actually create a new life, a new destiny, a new path. Because I didn't know it was possible, right? If you came to me 2 years ago and you spoke to me and said, hey, Luke, you're an amazing speaker. Like, I see your confidence. Oh, you could be a, amazing, podcaster or some shit like that. And I wouldn't believe you. Seriously, I would be like, yeah, whatever. But it's the openness of what I'm doing that I hope, especially with the fact that you have the ability now to listen to this podcast and say to yourself, you know what? Wow, that really hit me. I reckon I should share this with my brother. I should share this with my sister. I should share this with my mother or my father or my grandmother even, or my cousins overseas. Because maybe they might get inspired and go, you know what? That sounds fucking awesome. I needed to hear this today. And who knows, they may have an awakening as well and say, you know what? I deserve more out of life. I was born and I'm a miracle and I want to go out there and reach my full potential, if you ever will, in taking action on your life and taking action on your dreams and achieving that, which is tough. And becoming self-aware is the first process. The fact that you're aware, the fact that you may not take action, even though you're aware, it's still okay. Like, you got to understand yourself. You can't just think that somebody else is really growing. Somebody else is really taking action more than you. And that's another easy way for you to compare yourself. And then you put yourself down because you're like, you know what? What's wrong with me? Why am I not taking action? Why is this person moving faster than I am? And I did that as well, all through my 20s. I was feeling that resentment within myself, that, dissatisfaction that, some of my friends had better jobs than me. They had, certain financial investments that I thought, were awesome. And I was like, damn, how do you do that? I wish I could do that too. Or, they were ahead in their relationships or traveling overseas. And I wasn't even there because I was in debt because, I didn't go to university. I didn't know what to do. And there was the comparison continuously, always. So no matter what it is or what path or journey you're on, the people around you, if you're conscious and you're aware of who you are, don't judge yourself. Find that peace within yourself and know that everything's happening for you. And it's through these experiences that you have to go through that you can find that peace, find that love for yourself and say, it's okay. Everything is flowing. Get in that flow state. You can't expect everything in your life to evolve rapidly at that one point and that one moment. Maybe the first thing that you really need to focus on and lean into is getting healthy, is going to the gym, is getting that mind right, is being positive. Maybe that's the first step in your truth, in finding who you truly are, in your alignment of being completely in tune with your truth of who you are. Maybe that's the first step. Maybe the first step is quitting that job that you're in that you don't actually like doing, but you're just doing it because it's paying the bills. Maybe that's the first step. But you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know, well, then you got to try. You got to take action. You got to own it, So, one thing with this whole process of self-discovery and learning, when I said just before, I don't know who the fuck I am, right? And it's exciting for me because when I first started jumping on Instagram and doing interviews and doing Instagram lives, like I said before many times, I never had a schedule. I never actually had a plan written down to say, okay, Luke, today we're going to talk about being positive. We're going to talk about what is motivation. We're going to talk about confidence, building confidence. I never had any of that. All I did was trust myself and say, hey, I have to do this. Bang, Instagram live. What's going on? Another day, another blessing, And it's funny because I've got a book. Facebook Live can see this. I've got a book. I got it from, I can't even remember his name. I got it from a colleague at Service New South Wales, where I used to work as a driver tester, and it's called Make Shit Happen by Alex Martin. Quotes, tips, and activities for inspiration and motivation. And I was just looking at this book because I was doubting myself at the beginning of this podcast. Like, I still have self-doubt because I was like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? Okay, episode number 5, what am I going to talk about? Okay, I was going to write some stuff down on the computer, and I was going to read it. And then I was like, you know what? No. I'm just going to read some stuff out of this book, and then that will guide me into the conversation. And that's what happens a lot of the times, which is great because even when I do interviews with people, that's why I love it, because there's a bit of guidance in the topic and it allows me to then follow that path of what that conversation is about. But I forgot about this book, and for the last 17 minutes, I've just been talking. I've just been owning me. I've just been doing what I'm gifted in doing. And I'm just making myself aware of that because, I still do. And I think a lot of us deal with self-doubt, and it's an interesting topic because, especially moving towards something that you really enjoy doing or you want to do, but you're not sure about doing it, the conversation in your mind and that negative programming, that subconscious mind, that whole life experience of everything that you've been through and everything that you've done, that's not allowing you to lean into something that you want to do, of course you're going to have self-doubt. It's also part of fear. It's also part of just not believing in yourself because it's unfamiliar. It's something that you've never done before. And of course, those conversations, which, are not yours, are going to be there because it's like your old version of yourself is below and is like pulling you down saying, no, you don't know how to do that. We've never been here before. Don't do it. Don't. No. And it's really your conscious mind, your conscious decisions, and your understanding that you can call upon your higher self. We talked about this in episode number 3. You can call upon your higher self. And you can look at that guy and you can close your eyes and say, Luke Mind Power 2025 on the stage at Madison Square Garden, speaking with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and Trent Shelton and Ed Milet and Tom Bilyeu and Les Brown and Gary Vee. What would you do in this situation? Would you take action? Or would you just sit at home and maybe go to sleep because you think that you're tired and, you couldn't be bothered? What would that guy do? What would that higher self, what would he do? And I reckon like 10 times out of 10, that higher version of yourself is going to go, fucking do it, bro. go and kill it. Go and smash it. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you evolve. It's going to help you be better. Every experience and every action that you take upon pushing yourself towards your dreams gets your dreams a little bit closer to you. What you seek is seeking you, Rumi. What a powerful quote. I love that quote. When I saw it, I just connected with it so much. You know, the more that you seek, I love that leaning into, that notion of leaning into your passion of what it is that gives you that sense of satisfaction, that sense of fulfillment. You know, that love within yourself, you know, that aura, that energy that you possess within that vortex of your life, right? That you're able to really, really create your reality and move yourself into a new dimension of life. Boom. Like that's what you're talking about. And when you start leaning into that, man, you don't know what is possible. You have no idea what is possible. I didn't know that this was possible with what I'm doing. But the belief within oneself, wow. You know, you start seeing things like 11:11, and when I see that shit, I know the universe is talking to me and is saying to me, hey, Luke, you're aligned, man. You're powerful. And it's another sense of belief within myself. Everything is happening for you. If you start paying attention, understanding that when things happen in your life, it's happening for you. And when you start believing that, you start to actually be more conscious and you're able to not react in such negative way. And it's another form of living in a positive mindset, which has helped me so many times. I had a lot of experiences while driving in Chicago where things happened for me that I didn't know were going to happen. And there was this one day where I was going to an open mic and I turned right instead of going straight. And when I stopped at the next traffic lights, the car in front of me, the number plate, it said blessed. And I read it and I thought, blessed. Wow, what an interesting number plate. I wonder what that means. So anyway, I continued driving. I did a U-turn. I turned around. I kept going on the highway. Then I made another mistake. But at the time, I was very conscious and I was like, okay, everything happens for a reason. I took the wrong turn because the universe didn't want me to go the other way. There's a reason, right? The universe wanted me to see that number plate, blessed, right? And then I continued going. And as I took the wrong turn again, I went this other direction and I got to the end of the ramp and I was turning right. And as I turned right, I had my keys, which were in my center console in the car. And as I turned right, the car kind of leaned over and the keys fell to where my legs were, where the pedals were. And so I continued driving and I thought, shit, I better get the keys. And as I'm driving, I've put my hand down to try and get these keys. And I put my head and I took my attention off the road. And as I took my attention off the road, I went straight through a red light. And as I lifted my head, I saw the red light. And there was a car that drove past through the green light about 1 second after me. And I thought to myself, wow, the universe got my back. Everything happens for a reason. The number plate was blessed. And you can think to yourself that you're lucky, it's a coincidence, but I'm telling you, it's not a fucking coincidence. I believe within myself. I believe in my power. I believe in who I am and what I'm doing. And when you start to pay attention to these kind of signs in your life, and you're really, really pushing towards your alignment, towards your truth, and you don't give a shit about what anyone thinks about you, and you keep a positive mindset, and you start living with an open mind, man, all these things start happening for you and you start to be very, very aware of the direction and what you're actually doing. And it's crazy. I actually shared that story while I was speaking on stage at the Elbow Room in Chicago, which is a great place. So amazing. But you know what? I had this book. I'm just going to read something from it because I've been holding it and I was supposed to work from this book and I haven't even been looking at it. But one of the statements or quotes that says right here, it's when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Paulo Coelho. When you want something, all the universe conspires is helping you to achieve it. And you know what? That's the same thing as what you seek is seeking you. Because when you want something bad enough and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, there may be setbacks. There may be times where you're trying to achieve something, but something gets in your way. But allowing yourself to understand again that everything's happening for you, and sometimes you're not supposed to achieve that mission straight away because you're supposed to learn something from it. So think about it what is it teaching you? That situation that got in your way, what is that teaching you? Allow yourself to surrender to that fact that sometimes in life when you're trying to execute on something, it's not going to happen the way that you planned. You know, there are going to be speed humps. There are going to be detours. It's not supposed to work with the click of a finger. Understanding the process is very, very important. So, but knowing that you never give up, I mean, that's a major key for achieving anything that you want to do. Whether it's studying and getting a degree and becoming, you know, a architect or whatever it is that you're doing, you know, you think about it. I mean, it doesn't just only make sense in entrepreneurship or achieving a massive dream that you have, but in anything that you want to achieve. I mean, if you stop halfway, you're not going to get that piece of paper. So it definitely makes sense that, you know, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. The next one is, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Gee, that's deep, man. I don't even get that. If one advances confidently, okay, key word, confident. Confidence, all right, confidence, something I never had, something I never believed. Cocaine and alcohol. That was my confidence. Cocaine and alcohol. Snorting cocaine. Something that I did like for 6 years, man. From like 27 till 33 years of age. Cocaine. Fuck, it was good. There were some crazy moments. But it was abused. It was an escape from my reality. It was the confidence that I wanted that I didn't know I could achieve. I didn't know that I could grow confidence, right? I really didn't. And if one advances confidently, it's also being courageous, you know, stepping into that courageous, using that grit within you, you know, the belief within your soul of what you're doing. And it's tough because sometimes when you're leaning into something, you're so used to having all these people around you. You're so used to people, you know, being around you and the information that you consume from your family, from your friends, from people at work, that you advancing confidently and being courageous, we tend to feel like we need others' support. We need others' opinions. We need others' belief in ourselves in order for us to achieve our dreams. And this is something that definitely played a big part in my evolution, in my growth, is that I wanted everybody that I'd been surrounded with to all of a sudden believe in my vision, believe in my dreams, believe in my path of where I was going and what I envisioned for my future. That was probably one of the toughest things because I thought that I'm going to come out, I'm going to tell everyone, hey guys, this is, you know, my new journey. This is my new life. I want to be the best speaker in the world. My dream is to be on stage with all these amazing, extraordinary entrepreneurs, motivational speakers. But who the fuck are you? Coming from selling drugs, doing cocaine, drinking all the time, party boy, you know, nearly got married, didn't get married, all these relationships, didn't go to university, didn't study, but now you're coming out and you're saying you want to be the best motivational speaker in the world. Like, seriously, it was a joke, you know? But when you're leaning into something that, you know, you believe in and you have people that don't believe in you, oh, it's tough. And it's like a trigger. And you need to like be consciously aware that, you know, other people's opinions of you is none of your business, you know, but somehow we're just emotional beings. We're connected with everybody. And because we're so consumed in society's expectations, other people's opinions, it really affects us. It affects the way that we feel. You know, if only you could express yourself with love, with genuine, sincere, you know, insight into where you're going in your life, and everybody would just turn around and bow down and go, "You are the best and I support you." But the universe doesn't give you that because it wants you to grow. It wants you to be challenged. You cannot evolve and become this superstar and become the true person that you were born to be without these challenges. You need to have adversity. You need to have these speed humps in your life along this journey where you're going in order for you to grow and evolve and become more self-aware and more confident within yourself. Because the more that you move towards your dreams, the more that you take action, the more that you grow, the stronger that you get. I didn't know that I could become, that I could evolve. And this evolution of me and how I've done it is motivation within myself, because the more that I do it, the more that I'm really being authentic and unapologetic for being Luke, mind, power, my power, the more that I do that, the more confidence I have, the more I grow, the more I love myself, the more I reflect on my journey and celebrate my wins and give yourself a round of applause. Because you have to celebrate your wins. A lot of the times we don't celebrate ourselves because we're always waiting for others to give us that recognition. And that's the same thing as waiting for someone to say, "Hey man, I believe in you." Or, "Hey, I love you." Man, it all starts with you. You need to be your number one superhero. You need to be your own best friend. You need to be your own backup. And you can't expect other people to do that. So, your truth is within you, and you just need to start taking action to find it, to listen to it, and to not block it. The truth can be also interpreted as your intuition, which, I'm deeply, deeply connected with as well. And a lot of times in life, we do not follow our intuition. And if you're not following your intuition, that gut feeling that's telling you, "Hey, you know what? I shouldn't be doing this." Or that gut feeling of saying, "Hey, you should say this to this person," but you don't say it. Or, "Hey, I don't really want to be doing this job," but you keep doing it. You're continuously blocking your intuition. You're continuously stopping yourself from living your truth. Your soul is screaming at you every single time that you block your intuition. Every single time that you do not listen to your truth. Listen to that little voice inside you that's guiding you that you're not listening to, and you're blocking yourself. Because one thing I've learned is the more that I listen to the voice within, to my truth, to what is that sense of love within me that feels right for me, the more I do that, the more I'm authentic, the more I'm the real me. Not the person that people expect me to be, the real me. Not the person that my friends think I should be, not the person that my mother thinks I should be, not the person that my father, my grandmother, my friends at work, the people that I've known for 20 years, not that person. Fucking me. Own it. Own it. Once you start to listen to your truth, life is truly abundant and extraordinary. Guys, welcome if this was your first episode on the Hustle and Motivate podcast. I hope that you are inspired. If you are, share this with your friends. You may save someone's life. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know where you're actually listening to this, because I know it is on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, Deezer, Stitcher, Radio Public, TuneIn, and YouTube. So leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Maybe you have a different insight into intuition, into your truth, into some of the things that I talked about today. I'd love to know your thoughts, what you think. So let me know, and don't be afraid to share, because it's from sharing content that I've seen on social media, through people sharing with me what they thought was really insightful when I watched it, and then I was really inspired by it, that I was able to learn as well. So you just never know who you might inspire. So please pass on the love. That's going to finish up episode number 5. I hope you enjoyed it, and sending you much love, positive vibes all the way from Sydney, Australia. This is Luke Mind Power signing out. Much love, guys. Peace.